There we go.
Oh, nice. Good pull.
Because I did that the first time I was in the, or one of the first times I was in the volleyball. Because Reese doesn't turn it on when he puts it up here.
Well, that makes sense.
When I did volleyball the first time,
well, maybe
I was clicking the buttons, and Reese walks up there, and I'm like, yo, Reese, it's not working. He's like, bro, it's not on, buddy.
Oh.
I was like, all right.
Well, 'cause I mean, I feel like it's always on when we get here.
Yeah.
Somebody, if it's not Reese, somebody turns it on for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they definitely know, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kaplan Field for what is the final game of the Skyline Conference regular season. Bob, what a journey it's been. It's been a long year for us. You and I have gotten the pleasure of broadcasting every home game. It's been a fun season. Unfortunately, the men's team mathematically eliminated earlier today, so this will be the final game of the season, regular or post. Bob, tonight we see the Mount St. Mary Knights take on the Bears of St. Joseph's Brooklyn. The Bears sit at 1-8-1, near the bottom of the conference, if not at the very bottom. Bob, what can the Knights do here tonight to go out on a victory?
I think just score goals, quite frankly. The Bears, there we go. I was thinking of the Eagles because that's Long Island.
St. Joseph's Long Island.
They're playing Brooklyn, there we go. So the Bears don't score a lot, but they let in a lot. So the Knights are just going to have to get out on the front foot early and just go bag themselves a couple goals. You know what? Can't play spoiler. You can't get into the playoffs. This game is technically worth nothing.
Has no merit in the playoff picture.
But after a crazy season with lots of ups and downs, it's freezing cold out here.
It is.
You're on your home pitch with all your seniors for your last game in their career. Just go out and have some fun, you know? That's about all I got to say.
Fall weather in full effect here in Newburgh. Currently 50 degrees. It's going to get to 49 and then 48 as the game progresses, which might not sound all that cold, but for two people who have not really well adjusted to cold weather climates yet, it is incredibly cold, especially in an open-air broadcast booth. And Bob, for a team that is cumulatively 1-13-1 in the St. Joe's Brooklyn Bears, this is the matchup you want for the Knights if you want to go out on a high note.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a great matchup. The scoreboard.
There's an issue with the score. The scoreboard.
What the heck?
Turned on, turned back on again. Obviously, they're going to have to at least put the correct time on before the game is allowed to proceed.
They do have home and guest up on the scoreboard, which is not usually what they broadcast, but it is what it is. So the Knights will be looking out for Mr. Matthew Catone. Yep, Catone. Okay, I did get that pronunciation right. Of the Bears, who leads the squad with 3 goals on the year. Geno's, as we call it on the ice. The Knights, Mazzarelli, 9 goals on the year, so just below his goal tally of last year, though he is the team's leading goal scorer.
Ryan Keyser at midfield, awaiting the whistle. There it blows, and Bob, for the final time this season, it's time to party. Tynan knocks it down, sends it away, and we're in full swing. Leaping effort from Brooklyn to get that ball high up in the air. Gutierrez also goes off his head. Welsh tangled up with fellow teammate Matthew Marr. He's guarded tightly by Lorenzo De La Rosa. That one ends up out of play. Throw incoming. Hughes gets it into Gutierrez. Gutierrez plays it off a foot. Guarded by Guillermo Victorio. Good job from Gutierrez there to swing it all the way across the field. Getting a foot on it is Ryan Alvarado, who will leave it for Allison. Dale Allison right across midfield, getting a foot on it. Gutierrez goes back to Allison. The Knights careful with passing. Allison from just outside the midfield circle. He'll send it back to Noah Horn. And so Bob, Coach Longacre, perhaps knowing the situation, a couple of new faces in this Knights starting 11.
Certainly some new faces. Alvarado you don't see super often. Maher or MMG as the as the folks call him here on the squad. Don't see him too frequently, so it's cool to see some new guys getting worked into the lineup.
So La Rosa pauses, works it downfield, has that one taken away from the mount. Here's Tynan with a step. He'll cut past Joaquin Franco. Now working a move is Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli stops, cuts back towards the middle, will now swing it towards the near sideline for Marr. Marr is quickly picked up. Marr forced to pass it back, gets it to Hughes. Hughes gets it to Tynan. Tynan back to Hughes. Hughes up the near sideline with speed. In pursuit is La Rosa. Hughes will swing it towards the net. There on a header is Welsh. It just goes out of play off the side of the cage, just to the right. So that one ends up being harmless for now. But, Bob, a good job from the Knights early getting the ball in deep.
Certainly looking hot off rip. A little bit of passing there in the midfield. Some nice hold-up play out of some triangular formations. Finds a ball up the left-hand channel to Hughes. Headers just off the side of the cage.
Matthew Catone swings it to his goalkeeper, Matthew Goleta. Goleta sends it downfield, and now the Bears are going to try and work left to right, of course, wearing all navy. That one ends up out of play. The referees will say it's Knights' ball, quickly thrown in. Tynan knocks it down, stops on a dime. Almost left it for Alvarado, goes and picks it up. Will boot it downfield, giving chases Keyser. That one ends up in offside. So the Knights certainly not shying away from working the ball in deep early. We're just 2 minutes into the contest, and the Knights have already had a couple of solid opportunities.
And when the pond is full, you got to see what you can catch.
And now, now working with it is Catone. Catone stops, will swing it back around. Working it all the way upfield, now playing it off a foot is a Bear, sending it way downfield, giving chase is Allison. Allison has significant room. Horn knocks it down, makes a play at his feet, will swing it right back out, he leaves it for Tynan. Tynan plays it off a bounce. That pass may have hit somebody. It did. Either way, it stays with Tynan. That ball deflected off Jordan Diaz. Tynan, a beautiful pass upfield. Marr giving chase, stops, starts again, working inside the box, now works it back outside. Will now leave it for Hughes. Hughes picked up by Victorio. He'll swing it back to Marr. Marr swings it for Tynan. Tynan stops, will swing it for Gutierrez. Gutierrez works backwards, will work the ball behind midfield. Bevavino getting a foot on it. There on defense is Alexander Kudrick. Now working with it for the Knights is Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli starts and then starts again. Gets past Victorio, works it along the near sideline, blows his way past La Rosa. Works it toward the middle, works it out towards the end line. It'll go out of play. And the referees will say it was last touched by Mazzarelli. So Galletto will leave it for Catone. Catone certainly poised to send it away if he wants to. We'll see if he just elects to swing it back for his goalkeeper. And he will. At the foot of Galetta. Galetta doesn't pick it up. He'll swing it to the far sideline. Joaquin Franco catches it in stride. In pursuit is Keyser. Keyser backs off. Sending it upfield is Franco. That ball bounces around a little bit. Kicks straight up. Giving chase is Welsh. Tynan now stops. Starts again. Swings it upfield. Keyser gets a foot on it. That ball still bouncing around. It's a fight for it. Coming away with it for at least briefly is Dudas. Dudas knocks it down. It goes out of play. And it will be a throw-in from Mount St. Mary. So, the only shot on goal, or technically that's not even a shot on goal, but the Knights did have a header that go off the side of the cage early. But for the most part, Bob, doing a good job just dominating the time of possession. The opportunities, of course, will start to fall, but the Knights right now are just doing a good job taking care of the ball.
You got to control it if you want to score, so great job so far, making sure nothing too crazy happens. Some shoving is had on the left side.
It will be out of play, last touched by MMG. And it will be yet another goal kick. This one, Catone will just swing it for Franco. They'll bypass the middleman. Franco tries to beat Keyser, now has a little bit of room to work. He'll cut upfield. Mazzarelli comes in on help defense. He'll knock that ball out of the air. It'll take a convenient deflection as Dudas sizes it up for Brooklyn. Now here's Alvarado. Alvarado works it into the attacking third. Beautiful pass up ahead for Marr. That pass well out of his reach. Galetta wraps it up. And, Bob, this might be the first goalie we've seen this year play in sweatpants.
Is he in sweats?
Is he? Or
I
is
can't
he?
tell.
I can't tell either.
I
It
think
looks
you're
like
right.
it.
Huh.
Either it's black
Well.
sweats or he's got, like, black compression pants under the shorts. Unfortunately, it's dark out, and I don't think I could see that far on
Very
a
dark.
clear day. So, is that ball
My favorite thing about goalkeepers is that, like, you see them wear a typical get-up like what Horn is wearing right now, but there's a very, like, loose, like, restriction on what they actually can wear.
And this is definitely a conversation we've had before, but take Noah Horn, for example. Stellar year he's had. At home, at least, he wears that blood red getup. I mean, goalies, obviously you dress in a different color to the rest of the team so as just to distinguish yourself from everyone else. But is the red, is that a stylistic choice, or is that just what's given to him? You know, do you get to pick the color you rock out there?
Usually it's just given to you.
Okay.
When I was a goalkeeper in high school, I was given an atrocious neon-colored kit that I did not fit in. I was a very large specimen in high school. And it was a full size too small, so usually didn't work out too well for me. I've noticed that Galetti's get-up is also all black, which blends in quite a bit with the navy blue jerseys of Brooklyn. So
That is
maybe
true.
not the smartest stylistic choices. I do love the sweatpants, and another funny thing I found is, I don't know if you could do this, you can wear a baseball cap if you want to in the net.
Really?
Or any hat of any sort, yeah.
Interesting.
There was a goalkeeper for a while that was dealing with, like, in England when the sun gets really, like, potent during the summertime.
Right. As
He was-
Welsh
he
walks
would
it
wear a-
inside. Welsh gets it off a deflection, fires that one inside again. The Bears' interior defense holds up for now. Swinging it upfield in transition is Mejia. Still fighting for Mejia. Mejia able to turn upfield. Almost has that one taken away by Tynan. Tynan now playing some good defense. Now that the ball is out of harm's way, Bob, continue your story.
Yeah, this lad from Nottingham Forest, shout out to all the boys that are going to be watching the stream that watch EPO. He, about as English as they get, he would wear a black baseball cap with the team's logo on it for games to block the sun from his eyes.
Interesting.
A very interesting get-up, and he was a pretty efficient goalkeeper. So, maybe baseball caps give you some sort of power boost.
We have yet to see a baseball cap in Skyline Conference play. I'm not sure if that rule is available at the collegiate level.
That's a good question. I don't know what the uniform rules look like down here. I feel like you got to be nice to be gifted the opportunity to wear a baseball cap.
Wearing a baseball hat is certainly a fashion statement, as Allison catches it in stride. Will swing it for Gutierrez.
Like, you can't just be like a goofball wearing a baseball cap, you feel me?
Gutierrez sends it in deep. Marr knocks it down, has a shot. Marr fires, knocked down. Matthew Galetta answers the call, robbing a fellow Matthew of a goal, which would have been the first goal of the contest, but the first real chance for either side. It stays 0-0.
Wow, MM left wing there, found himself out in the open, just could not get the shot past the tender. Tender was fit to the task.
So Galetta, sweatpants, jersey that blends in and all, knocks it down, and really an impressive save. Marr had that one hook, line, and sinker sized up pretty well.
Definitely picked his corner.
And so in a matchup that does not historically favor the goalkeeper, Matthew Galetta answers the call, comes up big. First stop of the game for either side. Free kick coming for the Bears. Once the whistle sounds, it'll be Lorenzo LaRosa. That one he swings to Catone. Catone will leave it for Galetta. Galetta won't pick it up. He'll work it to the far side of the box. He'll swing it for Franco. Franco in his own end will swing it back for his goalkeeper. Galetta still not picking it up. He'll now swing it for Catone. Catone picked up by Marr. Will get it off for LaRosa. LaRosa now cuts upfield. He's picked up by Gutierrez. LaRosa's passed untouched. Bevavino gets a foot on it. It'll go out of play right in front of the trainer's table. A whistle. And our first substitution of the contest coming into the game, number 24, Francesco De Paula. A ball thrown in, perhaps a little too soon. The referee blows the whistle. LaRosa will try again. Thought about it. This throw in, he'll try and get it to Catone. That ball bounces around, takes a favorable bounce for the men in white. Marr will leave it for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli crosses midfield. He's got a step working in on Mejia. Will swing it up ahead. Keyser giving chase. Good defense there. That one knocked away by Franco. Franco and Keyser still chasing it. Joaquin Franco will swing it upfield. Lorenzo LaRosa there to field that pass. He's guarded tightly by Marr. Marr able to poke it away. That ball still loose and bouncing around. Getting a foot on it is Brian Garcia. Garcia will swing it to the goalie box. De Paula, fresh into the game, will leave it for his goalkeeper, Galetta. That ball takes a friendly bounce from Mount St. Mary. Bevavino gets a foot on it, able to send it back into Bears territory. St. Joseph's Brooklyn been on their heels to start most of this one, as that one's blasted downfield, giving chase his Horn. He will knock it down right before it goes over the end line. Horn picks it up, waltzes it over, will now roll it for Sam Bevavino. Bevavino has Hughes and Allison on either side. He'll swing it upfield for Marr. That pass picked off. Getting a foot on it is LaRosa. Sliding effort there from Gutierrez. The Knights take control once again. Bevavino for Allison. Allison stops, waits. And Bob, the Knights' ball security so far tonight, we're a little over 10 minutes in the contest. The ball security has been excellent.
Certainly holding on to the ball very well. They're meticulous in their passes and where they want to go with it, pushing the ball up forward whenever they see fit. So I do like that a lot early on from the Knights.
Bevavino will leave it for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli gets it to Welsh. Taking it away for Brooklyn is Mejia. Mejia will swing it back for De Paula. De Paula thought about it. Will now swing it for LaRosa. LaRosa picked up by Marr. Stops, starts. Good pass. That ball never left the ground. Getting a foot on it is Catone. Catone guarded by Bevavino. Bevavino will leave it for LaRosa. LaRosa right across for Mejia. Mejia will swing it upfield, getting a foot on Catone. Catone, good pass there, left it for Garcia. Garcia leaves it for LaRosa. LaRosa upfield, gets it to Lucano, fresh into the game. As Lucano's pass taken away by Hughes. Hughes sends it downfield, getting a head on it is De Paula. Mazzarelli now working with it for Mount St. Mary. He'll swing it back downfield for Bevavino. Bevavino for Hughes. Hughes back to Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli, he's guarded tightly by Catone, forced to get rid of it. Mazzarelli takes a shove. That ball ends up out of play. It will be a free kick for Mount St. Mary. The ball disappeared right in front of the Knights bench, which has been an issue all year long.
Maybe we can get that resolved next year. I don't know how, but maybe.
Maybe. The whistle blown, Bevavino sends it downfield. And now that it is transitioning into fall and soon to be winter months, I mean, these covered little benches here, I mean, those have to be warm. And especially on a night like tonight, I mean, that's exactly what you want.
It's probably pretty clutch.
Has to be. And again, not super cold in the grand scheme of things, but it is certainly colder than it's been all year. And of course, as you can tell by the men on the pitch, a couple of them in sleeves, a couple of them in long johns, just to keep everybody warm. Bob and I are all bundled up in the booth, as I'm sure you can imagine.
It's also significantly different when they're moving at such a pace and we're sitting here completely stationary. So
right.
It's going to feel twice as cold here in the booth than it will on the field.
Yeah, on the booth and in the field, both parties doing their respective jobs are certainly dressed in anticipation of it being colder than usual. As Tynan sends a ball downfield, no offside. Hughes, good job catching up to it. Him and LaRosa clash. It'll go out of play, and the referee will point to the corner for the first time tonight.
Mr. Gutierrez looks to be trotting his way over to the island. We will get our first of the night, and we'll see what the Mount cook up on this set piece.
And I feel like every time Gutierrez goes to take a corner kick, we're obligated to bring up the Olympico he scored earlier in the year. It was incredibly impressive. And we'll see if he has some magic in him again here tonight. 32-13 left to play and counting down.
And weirdly, that was our first game of the year, wasn't it? Our first men's game of the year.
It was. If it wasn't our first one, it was close. As the arms are raised, Gutierrez sends it in deep. Over everything, Tynan gets a head on it. That ball bouncing around in front. It'll go out of play, and it'll be a corner kick, this time on the opposite side.
So I vividly remember that game because it was against Delhi, and Delhi equalized in about the 80th minute.
Delhi, I think, would have been our first one. That would have been the very beginning of September.
We drew 1-1. I do remember that very vividly.
We've come a long way, man.
We certainly have.
It's been a long year.
From late August all the way to late October, we've really gone through the ringer.
2 months worth of games.
I mean, wow. Here we are.
Gutierrez, arms raised. He'll send it away a second time. Crashing the net hard was Tynan. He was the target of the first one. Galetta, good job there, just snatching that one out of the sky. Galetta hoping to catch the Knights in transition. That ball sent perhaps a little too deep. Liam Hughes gets a body on it. And Brooklyn might have caught a break there. That ball deflects off Liam Hughes, goes well out of play, further up from the scene of the crime. So for the first time tonight, the Bears will be in a favorable position on the field, deep in Knights territory. Taking the throw in for St. Joseph's Brooklyn, Joshua Lucano. Never mind, Lucano will leave it on the sideline for Lorenzo LaRosa. Lorenzo sizes it up, picks it up. No whistle, sees his target, fires away. Gets it to Garcia. That ball bounces back to LaRosa, guarded by fellow number 11, Marco Mazzarelli. Lucano flicks that one inside, tried to get it inside. Tynan, good defense there. He'll take it away, and now Tynan with speed, moving in the right direction. Tynan past midfield. He'll swing it up, giving chase is Welsh. Welsh in pursuit is Christopher Rodriguez. Welsh wins that battle. Welsh stops on a dime, sets it up, works it back towards the middle. He fires, knocked down by Galetta. That ball loose in front. Still loose in front. Galetta dives on it, and it goes out of play, and it'll be a corner kick.
Oh, wow, what a run.
What a rally there from Mount St. Mary. No dice yet, but the opportunities continue to get better and better for the good guys, as it'll be the third corner kick in what feels like 30 seconds. Once again, doing the honors is J.C. Gutierrez.
And an unbelievable ball up the right wing there. Welsh found himself onto it, got it into the center there, and Maher just not quite there for the rebound.
Gutierrez fires away. That one low, getting a foot on it. Mejia. That ball kicks straight up. Welsh getting a foot on it. Nice pass there. Leaves it for Gutierrez. He'll send it towards the middle. Leaping effort from Allison.
Oof.
That ball ends up just to the left of the net. Galetta, no trouble wrapping that one up. He'll waltz it outside the goalie box, send it deep. Leaping effort.
Oh, get here, ball.
For Kudrick.
Oh, get here.
It goes out of play.
No!
It's out of almost to the broadcast booth. And Bob, this is our last chance.
Man, this is the final rally right here.
This is my favorite story. I have a couple of things I say, like the same story or the same thing for every broadcast. One of them is Bob and I, our dream all season long for 2 months now has been that one day a soccer ball will leave the field of play and land in the broadcast booth, and we'll be able to commentate our catch in real time, much like baseball announcers do. And so far we've had a couple of close calls, close being a loose term, but we still have 28 minutes left in this first half, and we have an entire second half. So, Bob, hopefully a ball manages to find us as Keyser gives charge. Galetta forced to send it away. The Knights constantly on the goalkeeper's doorstep. As Mazzarelli with a step, he'll knock it down. He'll waltz it towards the middle. Has Hughes on his left, stops, now turns back in the other direction. Nifty move from the captain.
Let it eat.
Gutierrez sizes it up, fires it right at Galetta. Galetta has some trouble with it, but he's able to knock it down anyway. Galetta made the stop but could not catch it. Almost trickled in right behind him. He's able to grab that ball quick enough. But, Bob, a couple of good opportunities now for Mount St. Mary. We'll see if they're able to catch one in. As there's a whistle in the first foul of the contest.
Wee bit of a shove from Mr. Hughes.
Hughes
got a little excited.
Hughes helps up LaRosa. No bad blood. LaRosa perhaps a little shaken up. And in weather this cold, any hit you take is not going to feel good.
Definitely going to hurt just a little bit extra. On turf is not pretty. So Mazzarelli there was keen to shoot, could not quite find the right foot he wanted, and Gutierrez hit one with some venom. That ball almost fell in. Some early signs here of a goal-scoring opportunity. A little bit of a tangle up there in the back line, Lucas.
As Alvarado and Kudrick both leap for the ball, both parties fall. So a physical contest so far, no real malice, just a lot of guys running into each other.
Just a wee bit.
As it'll be a whistle and almost a kickoff for Sam Bevavino. Bevavino, that strong leg of his, he'll send it away, giving chase is Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli couldn't quite get ahead on it. That one knocked down by Tynan. Tynan works it inside, sends that one deep, hitting a bear going straight up. Knocking it down is Marr. Marr works it outside, tries to create a shooter's pocket. Can't, will leave it for Keyser. Keyser sends it away. Well to the right of the net behind the end line. But Mount St. Mary continuing to knock on the door. And of course, a cautionary tale of teams across all sports. Teams with a lot of opportunities that they can't quite cash in on usually end up paying the price for it later on. Hopefully that is not the case, but we are almost at the 20-minute mark here in the first half. And the Knights have nothing to show for their several opportunities just yet. As Tynan, good job just managing to leave that in play, getting a foot on it, Kudrick. That one sending it downfield. Bevavino returns the favor over the head of Tynan. Keyser working on DePaolo. Keyser gets a foot on it. He's guarded by LaRosa. LaRosa gets it to DePaula. DePaula's pass too far ahead. Now sizing it up for Brooklyn is Franco. Franco sends it up towards the middle of the field. Mejia will swing it for Kudrick. Kudrick now guarded by Allison. Allison collides with Kudrick. Kudrick falls, no foul, and the Knights successfully get the takeaway. Here's Welsh now, works it towards the middle. Welsh stops, tries to cut it towards the near sideline, does for a little bit, loses the ball, gets it back. Pass intended for Mazzarelli, taken away. Garcia's pass blocked in front. The Bears have possession, but they desperately need to get it out of their own end, as Garcia will leave it for Franco on the far sideline. Swings it back, giving chase. Knocking it down is Franco. Franco stops on a dime. He's just outside the box. He's guarded by Gutierrez, works his way around Gutierrez, has room to run along the far sideline. Getting a foot on it is Garcia. That ball worked all the way upfield, and now with some speed, here comes Brooklyn. Bevavino there. That shot fired well to the right of the net. Horn thought he had a play on it, realizes the better decision is just to let it go. It will be out of play, and a goal kick coming from Mount St. Mary.
So a little bit of dangerous transition attack there from the Bears, though went awry with nothing to really show for it. So suppose the Knights will continue to hold on to the ball.
And so the Bears looked good in transition, working the ball inside, which has been a rare occasion tonight, but so far nothing on the scoreboard for either side as that ball sent downfield. Mazzarelli working on Christopher Rodriguez. Rodriguez turns it over. Mazzarelli works it to the Knights side of midfield, try to get it back across. That pass taken away by Kudrick. Alvarado there to clean up the mess. Alvarado will swing it right in front of the scorer's table. It's Welsh. It will end up out of play. Welsh wastes no time throwing it back in. He'll get it to Gutierrez. Gutierrez stops, swings it for Alvarado. Alvarado works it upfield. Tynan tried to get a foot on it, did, couldn't quite corral it. Here's Rodriguez now for Brooklyn. A whole mess of bodies in front. It'll be the Bears coming away with it. Taking a hard fall is Lucano. And we have a foul. So Lucano a little slow to get up. And now play is resumed. Franco will swing it all the way back for his goalkeeper, Galetta. Galetta, again, doesn't pick it up. We'll leave it for DePaula. DePaula stops, sends it back towards the middle of the field. Kudrick tried to get a foot on it. Good defense there from Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli swings it for Tynan. Tynan will take the shot. That one blocked in front by Franco. That ball still bouncing around. A whistle, a foul, and a free kick. So another chance for the Knights deep in the Brooklyn end. Just a sloppy foul nullifies that chance as the free kick, the ball is placed in the appropriate spot. The referee finally gives his consent for the ball to be put back in play as a trio of substitutions appear right in front of the operator's table for Mount St. Mary.
Looks to be Wallace, Hoffman, and Burgos all on cue.
So the Knights looking for some firepower in a game that is still 0-0. 23:06 left in the first half and counting down. Alvarado thought about it, stops and starts again, cuts it along that far sideline with that great speed of his. Loses his footing, now gets it back. Good job keeping it in play. The Knights towing it along the far sideline. Welsh will leave it for Tynan. Tynan stops, sends that one towards the middle, cutting his Keyser. That ball still bouncing around. It's loose. Keyser sizes it up, and he scores! So Ryan Keyser hammers it home. The Knights finally take advantage of the loose ball, and it's 1-0 Mount St. Mary.
Look what I found. Keyser finds himself in behind. Keeper couldn't quite hold on to it. Bags it for the 1-0 lead as we're going to get into the second half of the first half. 3 substitutions of fresh legs coming onto the pitch.
So the Knights strike first, and you feel like a second chance goal was bound to happen. Matthew Galetta so far has played a good game, but he has a hard time just being able to secure the ball. So that ball bouncing around in front. Keyser gets a shot off, can't corral it, cleans up his own mess, hammers it home, and it's 1-0 good, guys.
Gotta love it, gotta love it. Last game of the season, you want to go and win it. So going up 1-0 the first 20 minutes of the match is definitely a good way to do that.
See if the Knights can keep their foot on the gas as they can smell blood on the water. Swung up ahead, out of play. The Knights faithful for the last game of the year. Hughes swings it for Burgos. Burgos knocks it down, turns it upfield. He's guarded by Garcia. That ball continuing to bounce around. Hoffman fresh into the game. That pass just out of his reach. Ends up out of play. Last touched by a Knight. Throwing it in LaRosa. LaRosa will swing it for DePaula. DePaula stops, starts, sends it upfield. That goes off the head of Garcia, off the head of Tynan, continuing to bounce around. Tynan and Kudrick tied up. Kudrick gets a foot on it. That one rifles off the head of Bevavino. Getting a foot on it, Gutierrez, but now here come the Bears in transition. Knocking it down is Mejia. Mejia stops. He's guarded by Tynan, loses his footing. Good defense there from Quinn Tynan. The senior captain now moving right to left, moving with some speed. Cuts it back towards the middle. He might go coast to coast, guarded by DePaula. Now he stops, try to get a shot off. DePaula got a foot in there. Tynan is tripped. No foul, no penalty of any kind. Now Gutierrez knocks down Rodriguez. The second man always gets caught and whistle blown. That'll be a foul and a free kick coming for St. Joseph's Brooklyn.
Brooklyn might have gotten away with one there. Looks like Tynan was clear on his way through. Got hung up on the transition through TSA. Docked his bag for something, so.
There's certainly an argument to be made that the referees missed that one, as that one ends up out of play. Throw-in coming for Dudas. Dudas leaves the ball behind. One thing I've noticed about throw-ins is that the first person to touch the ball is never actually the one throwing it in. Because I have been making that mistake all year long. Here comes this guy to throw it in. Oh, wait, no, it's the guy right behind. Oh, it's the guy right behind the. It just never ends.
Wait, it was a set-piece play. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Fake the throw. Wait.
Exactly. So the Knights, good interior defense once again. Here's Burgos. Those big strides of his. He's 6'5". As Mazzarelli swings it back towards the middle of the field. Gutierrez, a little bit of room to operate. Gutierrez now gets it to Tynan. Tynan working on DePaula and Rodriguez. Tynan gets a shot off, fires, hits the post. Off Galetta, still loose in front. Getting a foot on it again is DePaula. Sizing it up is Welsh. Welsh leaves it for Tynan. Tynan cuts it back towards the middle. The Knights still very much within striking distance. That ball bouncing around. Dude is able to take it away.
Oof.
And as of right now, Brooklyn can take a deep breath. But, Bob, how exciting was that? That ball goes off the post. To quote the great Doc Emmerich, he hit the post with the shot, and it's still 1-0.
Across the post is still reverberating from that one. That was a thunderbolt well off the inside of the post. Senior captain with a phenomenal run, just couldn't quite find the goal.
So Tynan almost goes coast to coast, and he almost scored one of the weirder goals you'll ever see. That ball hit the post, hit the goalie, who was still on the ground, and somehow managed to stay out of the net.
Soccer's a weird sport, man.
So I've discovered. If you broadcast enough soccer games, you'll begin to figure that out.
It wouldn't hurt to see something random or a wonder goal in our last game of the year.
We've had a few interesting moments. There's certainly been some fun stuff. As Tynan gets a foot on it, he has been everywhere on defense for Mount St. Mary. Knocking it down is Franco. Franco stops, has that one taken away by Mazzarelli. Welsh sticks his foot in there. And the Knights now come with numbers. Swings it up ahead for Hoffman. Hoffman giving chase. Hoffman with speed. Hoffman working on Christopher Rodriguez. Hoffman sizes one up. Hammers it high. So that shot rifled over the crossbar. Jack Hoffman, a nice show of strength. But it does end up out of play behind the net. But, Bob, since that first goal, the Knights, they're not leaving anything on the field. They've had a couple of really close opportunities.
Yeah, looking vertically, they're getting a whole lot of freedom there. Hoffman holding the shoot button just a tad bit too long. Though opportunities are looking very clean as we progress through this first half.
The Bears force a turnover. Now here they come in transition. Good defense there. Dale Allison will leave it for his goalkeeper. Horn wastes no time. He'll just send it right back downfield. Gutierrez tied up with Lucano. That ball still bouncing around, getting a foot on it for Brooklyn is Garcia. That pass turned over. Good defense there from DePala. DePala sends it back in the right direction for the Bears, but the Knights are able to play even better defense. Here's Tynan now, works his way past Garcia. That ball still loose in front. Welsh gets tied up. He takes a hard fall, but no foul.
Looks like some jersey grabbing, though no call was made, so I suppose it was not malicious.
But the Knights continuing to be relentless in their pursuit of the ball. Good things have happened. They're already up 1-0. They've gotten 6 shots on net. Goleta sends that one away over the head of the intended target, Catone. The Knights are able to clean up the mistake before making a mistake of their own. Getting a foot on it is Dudas. And the Bears lose the ball once again. Knocking it down is Hughes. Hughes sends it upfield. Burgos forced to stop on a dime, turn around. That pass a little bit behind him. He can't catch up to it. LaRosa gets a foot on it. He'll send it now for Mejia. Mejia swings it back for Lucano. Lucano picked up by Gutierrez. Stops, foot on the ball. Will swing just back behind him for LaRosa. LaRosa now swings it up. Mejia getting a foot on it. He's guarded tightly by Burgos. Mejia will swing it for Garcia. Garcia swings it all the way across the field. Stopping on a dime is Rodriguez. He'll leave it back deep for Franco. Franco sends that one back upfield. Sliding effort from Allison. And Allison will win that battle. Another good takeaway from the Knights' defense. Bevino sizes it up. He'll leave it for Tynan. Tynan now waltzes it in. Tynan with a little bit of speed. He'll swing it upfield, giving chase is Welsh. In pursuit, Christopher Rodriguez. That ball goes out of play behind the end line. It will be a goal kick, I believe. No,
I think they called a foul somewhere, so the Knights are going to get a free kick from about 40 yards out. I actually did not see the infraction, though referee was on it, so Mr. Highlighter must have saw what happened.
There's a quiet whistle, or if it was a foul, hardly noticeable, as Gutierrez set to take the kick.
He's going to boot one, probably try and drop one on over the penalty spot.
So Gutierrez sends it away. Tynan gets a head on it. That ball rattling around in front. It will go out of play, and it will be a corner kick. The fourth of the contest for the Knights. I think that scoreboard is behind because I remember 3.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Because Gutierrez had one, and then he had one on the other side immediately after. And then like 30 seconds later, he had another corner kick on the near side. So I'm going to stick with my guns. This is the 4th corner kick. No set play for the Knights. Gutierrez will leave it for Welsh. Good defense there from Brooklyn. Giving chase, able to knock it down is Catone. Catone quickly swarmed by Liam Hughes. And Liam Hughes shows why he has been a key piece of this defensive core all year long. As Tynan flicks it in deep, leaving effort from Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli wears that one off the side of the head. He'll get it to Gutierrez. Gutierrez gets it to Welsh. Welsh cuts it towards the middle, stops. We'll swing it now for Burgos. That pass perhaps a little too light. The Bears able to force a turnover. Mejia can't get past Tynan. Getting a foot on it is Hughes. That ball's still loose. Both parties leap for it. It'll be Brooklyn coming away with it. Here's Dudas, guarded by Wallace. Good spin move from Dudas. Maintains possession of the ball. Swings it back for Rodriguez. Rodriguez picked up by Wallace again. He'll swing it up ahead. Kudrick throws a shoulder. Now falls. That ball still in play. Kudrick slips and falls again. That ball still in play right along the far sideline. Hoffman tried getting it upfield. The Bear got a body on that. Now here's Mejia. Mejia working on Tynan. Tried to get it inside. That ball also tried to get inside. Blocked in front. Blocked again. Here's Catone, and Horn will play it off a bounce. So solid offensive possession there from St. Joseph's Brooklyn, but the Knights' interior defense still has yet to crack.
Blocking 2 shots there. That final one getting deflected sky high. Horn reading that bounce to a T. Finds the Knights still up 1-0.
Hughes loses the ball. Good defense there from Brooklyn. Perhaps a shove. Either way, the referees say play on. Mejia swings it back towards the middle. He'll get it to Lucano. Lucano guarded by Tynan. Lucano will leave it for Catone. Catone for Garcia. Garcia for LaRosa. LaRosa picked up by Burgos. He'll swing it upfield. Giving chases Mejia. Mejia, good move on Hughes. Mejia able to work it inside. Hughes with a poke check. Mejia still able to corral it. Good defense there from Quinn Tynan. Able to get a foot on that pass. Now here's Tynan with speed. He'll cut it towards the near sideline. Loses control of the ball. It's a race between him and LaRosa. Tynan shoves LaRosa. A late whistle. And a foul.
Full 2-arm shove there. Certainly guilty of the infraction. A very impassioned possession. Tynan picking the ball up from his own end, trying to make the coast-to-coast run. Not the first time he's tried doing that this game.
Tynan has been running angry all game, and so far it has been working. Incredible defense and a couple of solid shots on net. Nothing in the offensive stat sheet yet for Tynan, but his mark certainly being felt on this one. As Rodriguez gets it upfield, Kudrick knocks it down, stops, will leave it back. Deep, getting a foot on it, Dudas. Dudas will swing it now for Catone. Catone intended for Mejia over his head. Impressive running effort from La Rosa to keep that one in play. Burgos comes in on defense for the Knights, right in front of the Mount St. Mary bench. Good defense there from Hughes. Hughes kicks it straight up. That ball sent back downfield. La Rosa right where he was before. Now knocks it down. He'll leave it for Mejia. Mejia gets it to Kudrick. Mejia up ahead. Here's Catone. Catone, nice move. That ball still bouncing around. Bevavino sliding effort. He'll get a foot on it. Gutierrez knocks it down. Will swing it across the field. It's Welsh. Welsh sizing it up. The Bears in transition defense. Sliding effort from Garcia. That ball sent straight up, but Welsh still able to come away with it. Welsh knocks it down. Will leave it for Gutierrez. Now cuts it upfield. Thought about it. Stops. Will swing it for Burgos. Burgos right in the middle of the Knights attacking third. Him and his defenseman get tied up. Hoffman will leave it now for Tynan. Tynan approaching the attacking third. He'll swing it for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli, nice first touch. Works it inside, and he scores!
As cool as you'd like, right down Broadway, Mazzarelli finds it inside the post. I mean, he was laying in wait. He made his move immediately. He knew exactly what he wanted to do.
And the senior captain, double-digit goals on the year, Bob. That is his 10th. And an already impressive year continues to get even better for number 11. Your score now, it's 2-0 Mount St. Mary.
It's got me fired up. Shout out Marco. I hope you're watching this afterwards. That was a beaut.
Oh, there goes the stat sheet.
All of them. Oh,
here's
my
the
God.
wind.
Thank you. Shout out to our cameraman. Appreciate it, Adam. Dear goodness gracious. All my stuff flying all over the place. So a team leading 10th of the year, as you just mentioned there. I think just one tally lower than his total last year.
So Mazzarelli just been an absolute force of a goal scorer the last 2 seasons for the Mount. I had the privilege of doing some games last year. He is always a frequent flyer, as you would say.
Though this year, don't know if it is purely because of the difference in tallies of goals. The Knights have experienced 4 less losses this year in conference. So suppose they figured something out, just not quite enough out.
I mean, 4 less losses from last year. Playoffs, no playoffs. If you're able just to improve from the year before, there's no shame. And now here's Mazzarelli again.
Hey.
Him and Lucano collide. Surprisingly, no whistle.
Come on, he got body bagged.
Now stopping on a dime. Now here come the Bears. Leaving it is Garcia. Garcia will leave it for Mejia. Mejia will swing it for DePaula. DePaula for La Rosa. La Rosa tried to get it to Mejia. That one taken away by Gutierrez. And while we're talking about Mazzarelli, we can talk about his 10 goals, but for every game you and I have done, as Tynan sizes one up, he fires right at Galetta. Galetta knocks it down. And Mazzarelli, as prolific a goal scorer as he is, Bob, for every game we've done, he takes a beating.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I mean, it's just kind of bound to happen when you're a 10 that touches the ball so frequently. But, wow, does he take a beating.
Burgos, that pass right to him, forces the turnover. Burgos able to keep the ball, works it back towards the middle, tried to get it inside, deflected in front. Welsh got a foot on it, continuing to bounce around. That one taken away by the Bears. Garcia will try to get it to Mejia. Mejia knocks it down, stops, starts again. We'll leave it for La Rosa. La Rosa just outside the box. We'll leave it for DePaula. DePaula, Hoffman and Mazzarelli in the area. DePaula will swing it upfield. Getting a foot on it is Mejia. Mejia will swing it for Garcia. That ball still loose. Mejia down on the ground. No whistle yet. As that one still live. Here's Christopher Rodriguez. Mejia has since gotten up. That ball swung upfield, giving chase is Catone. Catone guarded tightly by Allison. Catone stops, waits for numbers, now works it back towards midfield. He'll leave it for Christopher Rodriguez. Rodriguez sends it downfield. It's Franco for DePaula. DePaula has a little bit of room to operate. We'll send it upfield, getting a foot on it. Kudrick. Kudrick now for Mejia. Mejia guarded tightly by Hughes. Hughes throws a shove. Mejia holding tight so far, now forced to get rid of the ball. La Rosa leaves it for DePaula. DePaula all the way back for Galetta. And the Knights' defense has risen to the occasion so far. No corner kicks, no shots on goal for the St. Joseph's Brooklyn Bears. 9 minutes left to play here in this first half.
Certainly a pungent back line here, keeping themselves as fortified as possible for the last game of the season. You got to love to see it.
Gutierrez will now swing it for Burgos. Burgos leaves it for Hughes downfield. Hughes swings it all the way back deep for Horn. Horn sends it back upfield for Hughes. And Bob, I mean, even though we talked about it, this game doesn't hold any playoff merit, but I mean, this is a really good start. This is exactly the kind of start you wanted for a game like tonight.
No, of course. You want to keep yourself out early and often.
And for a team that's 1-8-1 in conference, I mean, any game of the year, regardless of any import. I mean, this is a team you just want to come play and lay down the law. And so far, that is exactly what the Knights have done. Up 2-0, 8 shots on goal, 4 corner kicks. And again, no offensive statistics yet for St. Joseph's Brooklyn.
I mean, you just got to come in and do what you want to do and continue to do what you want to do. And the Knights are doing exactly that. So, big ups to the Blue.
So this first half so far has been all Knights as the Bears size up for a free kick, and we dip under the 8-minute mark. 7:55 to play. LaRosa gets the thumbs up. He'll send it downfield over the head of Kudrick. Getting a head on it is Bevavino. Getting another foot on it is Mejia. Mejia, that ball just over his head. Now approaching that near corner. Hughes gets a foot on it, sent straight up. Mejia working on Bevavino. Leaping is Kudrick. He got a head on it. A whistle and a stoppage, as down again is Mejia. And the referees will check on the injured Pablo Mejia. Mejia has been everywhere on defense for Brooklyn, and he has taken a couple of hits. He has been down on numerous occasions. So he proves to be one tough fella.
Of course, neither team shying away from physicality this game. Quite a few folks getting knocked down throughout the duration of this first half.
Of course not. As Hoffman works it up the near sideline,
Oh,
collides
my
with
God.
LaRosa. And speaking of physicality, Bob, LaRosa a little shaken up right in front of the operator's table.
Looks like he landed on his hand a little awkwardly. Hopefully he's okay.
And Bob, just to your point about the physicality, I mean, this is the kind of physicality you want in a soccer match. There hasn't been, or at least from what the viewer can tell, there hasn't been any malicious intent. It's just good old-fashioned physical soccer.
Oh, you gotta love to see it.
Exactly. I certainly have no complaints. As Franco sends it upfield, Tynan, good defense there. An already good defensive night just continues to get better for Quinn Tynan. As Catone guarded tightly by Allison, Catone falls, but he was able to get the pass off. Lucano and Tynan get tied up. Working with it is Catone. He's guarded by Welsh. That ball finds its way out of the scrum and at the feet of Noah Horn. Horn thought about picking it up, didn't. Will boot it right upfield. Wallace sends it to Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli now swings it towards the middle of the field. Here's Gutierrez. Gutierrez has room to operate. He's picked up by LaRosa. Quickly gets rid of it. Will leave it for Welsh. Welsh now cuts towards the middle of the field. Waltz is in the attacking third. Will send it upfield. DePaula gets a foot on it. He'll send it out of play. It will be to the left of that flag, so it'll be a throw-in deep in Knights territory for Liam Hughes. As coming into the game now for Mount St. Mary, number 27, TJ Mark. Mark will come on in relief of Cam Welsh.
So one first year for another. The daycare will be out in effect on the last day of the season.
And the Knights youth movement, incredibly effective all year long, as that one ends up, somebody did something wrong down deep, a whistle, a stoppage.
Ball got played back to Hughes, and Hughes was offsides.
That's why you're in the booth, Bob. Thank you, sir.
What?
I said that's why you're in the booth, Bob. Thank you, sir.
That throw-in is a little awkward sometimes because technically you have to watch that guy who gets that first throw-in. Like the guy who throws, a lot of times he'll be, oh, my goodness.
that one just out of reach of Mark, out of play.
Mark getting a little caught up. You have to watch the back line because a lot of times the guy who throws it in is going to immediately be offside. So it's a trap you fall into pretty frequently.
So you know how the big football broadcasts or baseball broadcasts, you'll have your broadcast crew and your rules analyst?
Yeah.
Bob Hauk is both the color man and the rules analyst.
I try my best.
He does both. As
Man of
many talents.
many talents, indeed.
As that one knocked down by Gutierrez. Gutierrez operating out of the M in MSMC. He'll swing it for TJ Mark. Mark now for Bevavino. Bevino stops. He'll swing it for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli cuts it inside. Nifty move. Working against La Rosa. Mazzarelli, good pass across the field, giving chase as Wallace. Can he keep it in play? Yes, he can. Wallace will swing it for Burgos. No, he can not keep it in play. The Knights at least cannot stay on side, as that one is blown dead before any serious opportunity can come about.
Burgos was just a hint offsides.
So the Knights have been busted for being offside a few times, but that's not even a real gripe. I mean, on offense, the Knights really have looked quite good.
Look great. I mean, it's just bound to happen when you're pumping so many long balls up the channel. You're definitely going to catch guys offsides.
So the Knights
par for the course.
So the Knights perhaps just suffering from success.
as Mr. Khaled would say. Another one.
As now the Bears, with 3:20 left to play in this first half, look to get any sort of momentum. As that ball's left deep for Goleta. Goleta stops, leaves it just outside the box. Will wait, tried to swing it upfield, knocked down by Burgos. Burgos gets a foot on it, leave it for Hoffman. Hoffman shakes his man, now works it inside. Here's Hoffman, still guarded tightly. Hoffman gets a shot off, blocked in front. That ball's still loose. Hoffman somehow gets his own rebound. Ooh. And is immediately fouled. So an incredible hustle play there from Jack Hoffman, getting a shot off, getting his own rebound, and then drawing a foul.
Very, very inspired play there from the junior. Gets himself everything and some. So he gets his rebate and a little bit of interest. Tynan there, I'm sorry. Tynan there, definitely keen to shoot from this distance.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Tynan on the free kick, and this free kick in an incredibly favorable spot here if you're Mount St. Mary.
The right foot of Tynan will probably be looking for a rainbow up and over that navy blue wall. Top right bins, as the kids would say.
Mark, Mazzarelli, Hoffman, and Bevavino currently crowd the box for the Knights. They don't move. Now they crash. Tynan lifts one up. Getting a hand on it is Goleta. That ball ends up just to the top of the cage. But that play obviously, that play you couldn't have really executed it any better. I mean, obviously you're hoping for a goal there, but there's no shame in that effort.
Of course, and I don't usually toot my own horn, but I think to exactly what I just said, almost the exact same thing just happened.
I wouldn't. I mean, you can throw. You can tell your kids about that one. I mean, it's
of course the almost goal that I once called on an October night in college.
It's like when they brought Tony Robo on to do CBS games for the first time. As Gutierrez sends that one in deep. Mazzarelli gets a head on it, deflected in front, still loose in front, and the Bears able to get it out. Another really good chance for Mount St. Mary. And now that the ball again is out of immediate danger, it's like when they hired Tony Romo to call football games on CBS for the first time, and he just predicted every play before it happened. Do you remember that? He did. There's like a 6-week stretch where Romo was like Nostradamus. It was incredible.
Some guys just know the game that well. Who's it, like Kyle Shanahan? A lot of like you see those like mic'd up clips where he just calls out plays before they even happen.
Yeah, well, Shanahan, McVay. And that's why those guys are on the sidelines. But
crazy football minds.
It's applicable. As Burgos now with speed, that one still in play, now out of play.
It's like, have you ever watched Kurt Benkirk play Madden?
Yeah.
It's like the most unfun way to play the game, but it's so impressive when he just barks out exactly what he's about to do and then sets up a one-play touchdown. I mean, like, he just sees the defense and he's like, all right, hold on. I'm going to put this guy on a flat and this guy on a streak. We should get a touchdown to Zay Flowers.
Tynan sends it towards the middle. Mark was in the area. He got a foot on it. Couldn't quite corral it. Good interior defense from the Bears. 25 seconds left to play. And, I mean, for the average Madden player, I mean, not every game is going to be against an NFL quarterback because Hoffman gets a head on it. Getting a foot on it is Franco. He'll send it out of play. That one headed towards College Courts. The referees elect not to stop the clock. There's 8 seconds for the Knights to get a corner kick off. They waste no time. Sent in deep, looking for a buzzer beater. Still bouncing in front. Tynan will catch up to it. Cannot get a shot off in time, and that'll take us into halftime. So, ladies and gentlemen, on the final day of this regular season, the Mount St. Mary Knights are up 2-0 at halftime. 10 shots on goal, 5 corner kicks. And then, Bob, in a game the Knights are obviously really looking to win. They have certainly answered the call. No notes so far. The offense has been good. The defense has been good. But as the color guy and rules analyst, what did you see from the home team in that first half?
I mean, they cash in the check and they're looking for a tax return. Can't do much else than be up in a game where you should be winning. So, not a whole lot of notes as the partial expert and analyst in the booth. Bob has not really found anything to really comment on. So, the long ball is looking pretty. 2 Two very nice goals from Mazzarelli and Keyser. Love to see it. So the boys try and maintain this lead going through the next 45.
And ladies and gentlemen, I'm Lucas Stackpole. With me is Bob Hauk. And in about 14 and a half minutes, we will bring you the second half of action of some Skyline Conference soccer. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back from halftime. I'm Lucas Stackpole. With me as always is Bob Hauk. And ladies and gentlemen, from the halftime, we bring you good news. Contrary to popular belief, Bob and I, the math we tried to do was wrong, which is why we're broadcasting, not doing math profession. But the Knights are not mathematically eliminated, as previously thought. We are still alive for the number 6 seed. And assuming the Knights need to win this game, they're already winning 2-0, and the Knights need the Maritime Privateers to tie Farmingdale State, and that would punch the Knights' tickets to the playoffs. But as of right now, Farmingdale leads Maritime 1-0
at the halftime whistle. So Maritime and Farmingdale, as Lucas just said, need to draw. I'll let Lucas get himself adjusted. I suppose we'll have a live feed for you. We can update you throughout the game because we are already winning. So the Knights are doing their job. Farmingdale and the Knights, if Farmingdale ties and the Knights win, we will have an identical record, and then it will go down to obviously total wins, which does not matter. So it'll go down to similar opponents, which I believe we've beaten more of similar opponents.
Yes.
Because we've already drawn, so that doesn't matter. The win total doesn't matter. And then I guess goal differential doesn't matter, so it'll go down to like opponents that we've played, like conference opponents, and I think we've beaten more conference opponents than they have.
So
or strength of opponents we've beaten is higher.
So in a nutshell, as our SID just filled us in regarding this at halftime, because the consensus was that we were eliminated, but we are now properly informed. And to put all of that in a nutshell, we need a win and some help from the Privateers in the form of a tie, and the Knights punch their ticket to the postseason. So, Bob, as you mentioned, the Knights are doing their job. They're leading this game 2-0. Bob and I have pulled up the live stream for the Farmingdale State game as well. So some decision day madness coming from the broadcast booth now. The Rams lead the Privateers 1-0. The second half of that game just got underway.
Of course,
Do tell.
Of course, the brilliance of decision day, always putting games that mean a lot within the same groups of folks, like teams. You have to put them at the same time so that there's no foul play to be involved.
So some decision day madness as Catone sends it away for the Bears. And Bob, it is time to party. Good defense there from Ethan Wallace, a whistle and an immediate stoppage and a foul somewhere on the field. It will be against the Bears. So Tynan sizes it up. He'll leave it for Bevavino. Bevavino will swing it back to Tynan. Tynan thought about it. Will now leave it for Mark. Mark swings it across the field, gets it to Mazzarelli. And now the fact that the Knights are still alive, this puts into perspective just how good of a game it has been for the Knights. Obviously the Knights do need some help from folks in other places, but in a game you have to win, the Knights have certainly risen to the occasion. It was an impressive first half, 10 shots on goal, 2 goals, and it felt like just even more opportunities. There were some opportunities the Knights had or almost had that didn't even result in a shot on goal.
Definitely been aggressive on the attacking foot. The Knights have looked very, very good here in the game. They absolutely need to win given circumstances of an additional game. So you love to see that as we're getting very early premonitions into the second half here.
As Mazzarelli will leave it for Tynan. Tynan thought about it a little bit longer. Now tried to get it to Mark. Tynan almost took that pass away. He's able to get a foot on it, knock that pass off course. So Quinn Tynan adds to an already impressive game. Tynan stops, will swing it across the field, look for Welsh. Welsh plays it up along the far sideline. He's guarded by Christopher Rodriguez. Welsh now stops, will swing it back for Tynan. Tynan has to get rid of it, leaves it for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli back to Welsh. Welsh knocks it down, pokes it up ahead, tried to get it to Keyser. Keyser does already have a goal in tonight's contest. Now is Mejia. I just hit the microphone with my watch. Apologies to folks at home.
Ooh.
As Garcia stops, sends it downfield. Getting ahead on it is Kudrick, but it will take a friendly bounce. Bevavino knocks it down. He will leave it for Horn. Horn now swings it upfield. Knocking it down is Hughes. Hughes will leave it for Tynan. Now he will. Tynan quickly picked up by Garcia. That ball still bouncing around. Mazzarelli looks to get past midfield and does. Here's Tynan with speed. Tynan swings it up ahead. Beautiful pass up ahead. The Bears want offside. They're not going to get it. Mark is loose. Tripped up by the goalkeeper. That ball's still active. And now a stoppage. And now a whistle and a foul. And the referee will rule possession with Brooklyn.
Whoa. That was a crazy possession. I don't think they called offsides there, so I suppose they called a foul on Mark.
There
got
was no
through.
offside. Because there were several, as that play was unfolding, there were several Bears that looked to be pleading for an offside, but it is a call that never came. And so the first good opportunity of the second half comes within 3 minutes for the Knights, but unable to add to their lead, at least so far. And now, Bob, that I'm calling this soccer, or now that we're calling this soccer game, the Knights are up 2-0. Farmingdale State and Maritime, that game is live in front of us. I pulled it up on my computer. Have you ever seen the Kevin Harlan clip where he calls 2 football games at one time?
No, I haven't.
It was a couple of years ago. It was the final week of the NFL regular season, and it was a situation not too dissimilar from this one. It had something to do with playoff tiebreakers, and he was calling the game he was present for, and then Red Zone or whatever channel it was, they pulled up the game involving the other team in that tie-breaking scenario, and he just called both those football games from like the final 2 minutes on. And it was awesome. He just did it live on air. He just started announcing both football games. It was sick.
It's fire. It's like Scott Hansen when he just starts ripping like 6 games at once, and you're like, holy crap.
The Octobox.
The Octobox.
He's good at what he does, Scott Hansen. As Mejia tried to get it upfield, that ball knocked away. Hughes giving chase. Also there for St. Joseph's is Kudrick. It'll be Hughes winning that battle, able to get that pass out of play off of Kudrick. It'll be a throw-in. The Knights deep in their own territory.
Do love some Scott Hansen action. I think I do a pretty good Scott Hansen impression, actually.
As that ball sent away. 8 hours of commercial-free football? Or football with some commercials now. As Welsh runs it all the way upfield, now stops, slows down, stops on a dime, operating right out of the corner of the box, gets a shot off. Galetta dives on it, and now knocks it down securely. But Bob, I mean, with the exception of the 2 goals, Galetta has played a really game at goalkeeper. He's made 9 saves. But one thing I have noticed, and one thing that the Knights have already exploited, is the fact that when Galetta goes for the save, he often doesn't corral it on the first go. So the Knights have had several chances to get second-chance goals, and they've already made good on it once tonight.
He's definitely not had the surest of hands on a cold October night, though he's knocked down a whole lot. So, yeah, the saves have been up there, though the security has not.
And the second chance and just the rebounding opportunities, the second chance points for the Mount have really been the difference maker. They've just been relentless in their pursuit of the ball, and it's worked out good for them. Mazzarelli there almost intercepted that pass. But the Knights able to come away with it regardless. Tynan works it inside. Mark gets a foot on it.
No.
And is quickly whistled for offside. So this time the referees do answer the pleas of the Bears. The whistle is blown. Offsides is called. But Mount St. Mary ultimately picking up right where they left off at the end of that first half. A first half that was, at least in the eyes of our statisticians, that was dominated in possession 56-44 in favor of the Mount. As sending that one away is Franco. That ball still bouncing around, giving chase is LaRosa. LaRosa's able to kick that one off Mark. But they will say it is last touched by Mark. It'll go out of play. Dudas now waits, fires it in, gets it to Mejia. Mejia guarded tightly by Tynan. Mejia loses the ball. Mazzarelli able to come away with that for the Mount. Mazzarelli now stops, will swing it for Tynan. Tynan right inside the midfield circle, now comes out. Tynan with some speed, works it towards the middle, right outside the top of the box. Good defense there from the Bears. That ball's still loose. A whistle and a foul. So a couple of early fouls here in the second half for the Mount. And a couple of them have squandered what could have been good opportunities. The Knights have been making a living on the Bears side of the field in the first 7 minutes of this second half. As Bevavino waits, he'll swing it to Tynan. Tynan from outside the middle circle will leave it for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli will swing it upfield, giving chase is Wallace. Wallace, good job knocking it down. He's on the near sideline right in front of the Knights bench. Good defense there from Veton Dudas, knocking that one out of play for the Bears.
The Knights looking certainly to be more on the attacking foot this half. Majority of the possession was spent in the midfield last half for both sides. So the Knights looking to get the dagger as fast as possible. A track race to 3 goals.
And so the Knights, of course, looking for some insurance in a game that means so much, and it is a little bit tricky as a team, as a playoff hopeful. It's a little bit tricky as a team that doesn't control your own destiny. But so far, the Knights have done an excellent job at just controlling what they can control.
Of course, and I mean, playoff crazy's got to start somewhere, and getting a win is definitely a great point to be at.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is with playoffs, you see it across so many different sports. I mean, playoffs, mostly, really, it's just who gets hot at the right time. And a statement win right now in the last game of the year, should the Knights be able to nab that 6th seed, that is a team getting hot at the right time. As Tynan rifles that one upfield, Galetta the only man in the area. He won't pick it up. He'll get a foot on it and just swing it out for DePaula. DePaula now working on Keyser, has a step, will rifle it upfield. Leaping effort from Catone, but the Bears unable to maintain possession. Mazzarelli knocks it down, stops, waits. Will swing it for Tynan. Tynan now pokes it up ahead, off of Mark, unable to corral it. The Bears want offsides, and they'll get it.
Certainly do not look offsides from here, though I'm not on the field to call it. It's the third offsides call of the half, I think, on the Knights.
Yes, and the Bears have pleaded for more. So, I mean, the argument is there that it could be more than 3, as that one ends up out of play. The referee signals this will go the way of the Bears. And if you're St. Joseph's Brooklyn, I mean, 2 goals is not insurmountable. There's still plenty of time, as 36 minutes and 7 seconds countdown on the clock. I mean, obviously 2-0 is less than ideal, but there's still plenty of time to mount a comeback. But this is a team that so far hasn't tallied a shot on goal. As Mazzarelli's pass all the way up ahead, Mark runs it down, will send it towards the middle, giving chase on the far side is Welsh. Welsh, good first touch. It'll stay in play. It'll take a weird bounce, but a favorable one. Welsh will leave it for Gutierrez. Gutierrez knocks it down, tried to fire it. Shanked that one maybe just a little bit. That one sent straight up, getting a foot on it as Brooklyn. Now is Garcia trying to run out of it, run out of the way with it. And now here's Kudrick. Kudrick now guarded by Bevavino. Kudrick with speed will swing it for Catone. Catone guarded by Allison. Here's Catone. The Bears looking for some offense for the first time tonight. That pass left behind for Kudrick. Perhaps some miscommunication, and the Bears shoot themselves in the foot. So a tough possession there for St. Joseph's Brooklyn. I mean, Catone and Kudrick, they had a step there.
Certainly did. Painful stuff, and you get yourself a look, and then you just drop the ball where you need to be hitting it.
And conversely for the Bears, I mean, their season, unfortunately, is over. But, I mean, teams do take pride in playing spoiler, which the Bears do have a chance to do tonight. I mean, of course, the Knights still need some help, but they can't lose the game. They can't lose or tie, and Brooklyn obviously has a chance to come into Newburgh and do one of those 2 things.
Absolutely. A goalkeeper substitution is being had here for the Bears. That's a new one. A car horn is going off, so welcome to the Berg. Your guy, Edwin Sacramento.
Into the game now, Edwin Sacramento.
That's awesome.
The big 916 checking into the game for St. Joseph's Brooklyn. That is awesome.
From Brooklyn, New York. So there you go, man. That's great stuff. Happy decision day, Lucas. We're having ourselves a dandy.
Then this goes back to, again, to one of those conversations we have every game. There's always one player on the visiting team that has an interesting name you've never seen before. And I have been to Sacramento more times than I can count. I grew up an hour south of there. But I have never seen anybody named Sacramento.
Yeah, that's definitely something.
As Gutierrez knocks it down, that ball's still bouncing around. He'll leave it for Welsh. Welsh off the top of the box, got a shot off. It caromed off someone right in front of him. It will go out of play. The referees will signal for a corner kick. So J.C. Gutierrez makes his way over to the corner. It'll be the 6th of the contest for the Mount. The Knights, of course, looking for some insurance. They already lead 2-0. 33-23 left to play in the second half. Your score in the Farmingdale State Maritime game, still 1-0 Farmingdale. 33-47 left in that game. Gutierrez sends it away. Leaping effort, Mazzarelli. That ball bouncing around in front. Good job by Franco to corral it and get it out of harm's way. Hughes leaps, able to get a ball back into the Knights attacking third. Nifty kick from Allison. That ball on target, but it is knocked down by Sacramento, who wastes no time. Sacramento sends it away, but that ball quickly turned over once more. Bevavino able to knock it down. He gets it to Hughes. Hughes now swings it for Allison. Allison back for Bevavino. Bevavino to the far side of the field for Welsh. The nifty thing with these 2 games, Bob, the one in front of us and, of course, the one going on Long Island right now, they both started at 6. So we will have a pretty good idea of the final playoff picture come the end of the Mount St. Mary game.
Yeah, it's super helpful.
It is nice.
Farmingdale game is ahead by about, 30 seconds?
Yeah, it's less than 30 seconds.
But despite that, simultaneous games, of course, that is a logistic thing because it was a problem for a time in competitions where staggered times on decision days would lead to teams knowing what result they need before going into the game, and teams would sandbag.
And that's what we were just talking about. We were talking to a parent who was gracious enough to help further explain the playoff situation. But that's what happened earlier between Manhattanville and Old Westbury. Because Old Westbury, they were still in contention for the 6th seed, but Manhattanville, they were locked into, I believe, 3 or 4. Manhattanville was solidly locked into a playoff spot. The outcome of the game today would not have changed where Manhattanville finished in the final standing, so they played, as she put it, the JV team. But of course, it is not an uncommon practice. If you know where you are in the playoffs, there's no reason to risk getting any of your big guys hurt. But that's more or less the point. I mean, Old Westbury was able to pick up the win, and then there's your problem with staggered times on decision days, Bob. That's a real-life example of the story you just gave.
Of course, there's more extreme examples. I can't remember all the specific countries, but there was a World Cup one year where a country needed 2 countries to have a result or something like that, and the countries figured out that if they just drew instead of like actually playing a proper game, that both of them would go through and that last country would just be eliminated. So they literally passed the ball, I think, 200 times plus. Like, both teams did not even engage on the attack. 90 minutes of just nothing but passing. They tied 0-0. Both of them went through.
And the Bears trapped deep in their own end. Knocking it down is Tynan. And the Knights able to come away with possession here. Wallace will swing it for Gutierrez as the Bears almost take it away. Now they do. Good job there from Catone. Catone now pushes it upfield. That pass, good one up ahead. Horn leaves the box, gets a foot on it. Will swing it out of play. And while we're on the subject of tiebreakers, I mean, you remember that Chargers-Raiders game a few years ago where if both teams tied, they would make the playoffs and knock out the Steelers. And they were tied at the end of regulation. They went into overtime. The Raiders could have let the game end in a tie, send both teams to the playoffs, but they kicked the field goal just to knock the Chargers out, which is incredibly disrespectful, but no favors for a division rival.
Sometimes it means more inside the division.
First corner kick of the contest now for St. Joseph's Brooklyn. The Bears looking to cut the lead in half. Sent away. There's a mess of people in front. Kudrick is there for the Bears. Couldn't get a body on it. Tynan now will swing it upfield. Here's Welsh. Welsh waiting for numbers, but a good defense there from the Knights. Almost became good transition offense. A pass up ahead intended for Tynan. That pass just behind him. Mazzarelli, he's scored tonight. He'll swing it now for Wallace. The Bears want offsides. They won't get it. Wallace works it inside, stops working tightly on Garcia. He turns around. He'll now swing it for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli will swing that one across the field. Keyser is there. Keyser wears that one off the chest. That ball still bouncing around in front. Good defense there. That's DePaula getting it away for St. Joseph's. So the Bears' interior defense has bent but not broken so far here in this second half.
Some exciting action coming on the attacking half, though no charges have been made to the credit card just yet for the Knights.
That ball continuing to bounce around. Sacramento sends it away for Brooklyn. Rodriguez guarded tightly by Welsh. A whistle, a stoppage, and it will be a foul. The ball will continue in the way of the Bears. So the Brooklyn defense has risen to the occasion to open the second half. We are 28 minutes, 25 seconds left to play, which means we're about 17 minutes into the half. Only one shot on goal for the Knights, compared to a first half where the Mount put up 10. So the defense has been doing its part for the Bears. We'll see if they can turn that into some offense in what is still a very winnable game. The deficit still, of course, 2. Giving chase is La Rosa, now giving chase is Horn. Horn out of the box. It will be out of play. Whew.
Got away with one there. Ball just trickled out of play on the back end.
And so the Knights will catch a break. And, you know, more a hockey thing. But, I mean, Horn almost got away with one. That ball was still loose in front, and he was well out of the box. If you are a goaltender, tend the goal.
Certainly got to stay within your crease, of course.
But, of course, Noah Horn, all in good fun. He's pitching a shutout here tonight. 2-0 still, of course. Now here's Welsh with speed.
Whoa.
It's Tynan. Tynan like a snowball rolling downhill. The idiom I was going to use you can't really say on air, so I had to Like a bat out of a cave was Quinn Tynan. There we go.
Bit of a jailbreak for the Knights goes awry, so we'll get ourselves a 7th corner kick of the match.
It'll be TJ Mark doing the honors this time for the Mount.
6, now 7 set pieces from the corner for the Knights. Get ourselves a new corner taker. Off the right foot, an in-swinger. Whoa.
Mark, that ball sent straight up. Leaping effort from Dudas from the Brooklyn sideline. He was the first to get a body on it. Keyser will send that one back towards the middle. Getting ahead on it is Garcia. That ball still bouncing around. Controlling it now is Brooklyn. Here now is Lucano. Lucano guarded tightly by Tynan. That ball bouncing in front under the feet of Kudrick, but that ball stays with the Bears. Pass intended downfield for Kudrick. That ball blasted out of play. It'll be a throw-in now for St. Joseph's Brooklyn. The Bears moving with some speed here. Leaving it for Mejia. Mejia, that pass turned over. Now here's Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli with speed, just looking to get the ball back on the Bears side of the field. He stops. He's picked up by Cutto. Now Mazzarelli with speed. Blows past his man. Mazzarelli, he's guarded by Franco. He swings it inside. Here's Mark. He scores! Wow. Textbook passing from Mount St. Mary, and it's 3-0.
Mazzarelli with a gorgeous move here right in front of the booth. Just rinsed his way through the back line. A wonderful seeking ball to that penalty spot right in the middle. TJ Mark as cool as you like. 3-0 for the Knights, doing their job threefold of what they need to find themselves into a playoff spot.
So Mazzarelli goes coast to coast, blows past his man, and picks up the apple as TJ Mark hammers it home. 3-0 Mount St. Mary.
So the Knights doing their job and some as we await to see what Maritime can do in this Maritime-Farmingdale matchup.
That game still 1-0 Farmingdale, 25-48 and counting down on Long Island, 26 minutes and counting down here in Newburgh. So as of right now at this particular moment in both of these games, the game in Farmingdale is now set to finish before the game here. Granted, there's still only like a 15-second margin, but at the very least, we will know the winner of this game before we know the winner of the Knights-Bears game. Bevavino now swings it upfield. Mazzarelli gets a foot on it, left it for Keyser. Keyser now, nice flick. He'll leave it for Mark. Mark tried to get it back towards the middle. There was Keyser. Keyser goes off the head, now loose in front, still bouncing around, and the Knights score again! Mazzarelli with a brace, his second of the contest, and the Knights are up 4-0.
It's 11, and it's heaven for Mazzarelli and crew. A brace on decision day. 4-0 goes the scoreline. The Knights putting themselves in an optimal position.
Number 11 for number 11, his second of the contest. Mount St. Mary 4, St. Joseph's Brooklyn nothing. 2 goals in 45 seconds for the Mount, firing on all cylinders in a game they absolutely have to win.
So a double from the man from Poughkeepsie. The Northerner comes in here and matches his tally from last year. 11 Genos for the young man. 25 and some change to go, Lucas. We are about the same on the clocks. So after 2 goals, the result will be coming out at about the same time.
The ball's still bouncing around us.
I think, or they are a full minute ahead of us. That I was already
Farmingdale and Maritime are roughly a minute ahead.
Okay, so we will have that result well before this game is over. I completely misread that.
And of course, the fun part about scoring all these goals is the clock stops. And so far, that Farmingdale game still 1-0 as La Rosa leaves it for Mejia. Mejia cross-field pass, nobody home. It will go out of play. Last touched by Mejia. So it will be a goal kick for the Mount. And so, of course, with 2 goals in 45 seconds, the clock stops more often than it usually does in a soccer game. So that allows the Farmingdale game to progress a little bit further. As Horns sends it away, low line drive. Gutierrez gets a foot on it. He'll knock it down. He'll try and get around Garcia. Decides he can't. He'll leave it for Welsh. Getting a foot on it is Tynan. Getting another foot on it, Mazzarelli. Mejia sizes it up. The Bears operating out of their attacking third. Lucano gets it. That ball continuing to bounce around. Tynan able to knock it down. He'll leave it for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli now gets it to Gutierrez. Gutierrez stops. He'll send it upfield, giving chase is Keyser. He has Mark to his left. Keysers knocks it down. He'll leave it for Wallace. Wallace picked up by Dudas. Udis will swing it back for Keyser. Keyser giving chase. That pass a little too far out in front, but Mazzarelli sizes it up, looking for a hat trick. Loose in front. Sacramento knocks it down. Mark, he scores! Wow. So TJ Mark cleans up the rebound. His second of the contest. Another Knight with a brace, and it's now 5-0.
Catch them if you can. The Knights are running away, leaving the coattails up and in the wind. 5-0. A howitzer from Mazzarelli, almost fully falling down on that shot. Mark got home for the rebound one. A rebound, there we go. A gorgeous one, Lucas. I love to see it.
And that is awesome. 3 goals in 3 minutes. There's trouble in Sacktown. It is now 5-0 Mount St. Mary. 23:42 left to play. And again, it is decision day. We're just going to keep reinforcing the importance of this game, just what is at stake for this Mount St. Mary team. In a game, it's in a win-or-go-home game for Mount St. Mary. In theory, the Knights are already up 5-0. Farmingdale State still leads Maritime 1-0.
Oh, Maritime had a chance through on net, got called for offsides. I thought that was the one.
Keyser now knocks it down, leaves it for Mark. Mark looking for a hat trick. He's not offside. Leaves it for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli scores!
Oh, and it got called off.
Oh.
No. Oh.
And a late offside call.
That's cruel.
From the line judge.
That is cruel.
And so the 6th goal of the contest gets waved off. And again, I mean, you don't need that goal. You're up 5-0, but a hat trick for the captain, that would have been something.
Would have been special. Would have topped his goal tally from last year. In a game where all bets are off. Ought to find as many as he can.
So another stoppage, and it will be another goal kick for the Bears. As Bob and I are taking the appropriate measures to ensure we can also follow the Maritime game.
Started buffering on us, got a little worried there.
Now here come the Bears in transition. Rodriguez will try to get it to Catone. He does. Catone quickly picked up by Tynan. Giving chase now is Kudrick. Kudrick picked up by Bevavino. Bevavino stops, starts again. He'll leave it now for Catone. Catone falls. Taking a hard fall inside the box is a Knight. The referee immediately calls for the stoppage of the clock. Immediately calls for the trainer. And we will take a brief step aside as the appropriate parties check on, I believe it is Liam Hughes. So as is the rule, Hughes will have to leave the game as he gets looked at. He's able to walk off under his own power. We hope everything's okay. And Hughes, of course, an intrinsic piece of this Knights defense.
So he'll take himself a breather, though. They are 5-0 up, and for I thought Maritime just scored. Sorry, I'm jumpy. I want to see it happen so bad. You don't get it. But in a game where you're 5-0 up and you've already done what you need to do, there's no need to get your fullback or anyone else hurt. Oh, my goodness.
Good centering pass for the Bears. Lorenzo LaRosa was in the area for Brooklyn. Good defense there from the Mount to keep the ball from out of the back of the net, but it will be a corner kick now for the Bears. Pablo Mejia, number 10, doing the honors for Brooklyn, will not send it in deep. We'll just leave it for his teammate Garcia. That ball bouncing around in front, still loose in front.
Whoa.
Horn knocks it down.
Oh, my God.
Noah Horn with a great save. The Knights now in transition. Mazzarelli sends it upfield. Here's Welsh. The Knights looking to go coast to coast. Here's Welsh. He's onside. Beat Sacramento.
Oh.
Sacramento a sliding stop.
Oh.
And we stay where we are.
A crazy, crazy sequence. Welsh just hardly on sides there as he started to run from his own half there after Horn made an ungodly save on his own goal line.
It was very nearly 6-0. But no, or very nearly 5-1. But Horn answers the call, working in deep again is LaRosa. LaRosa falls, no whistles yet. Bevavino has his legs tied up. That ball's still bouncing around in front. Waiting for anyone to come away with it. It is Brooklyn. Here's Catone. Catone sends that one towards the middle. Tynan gets a body on it. Has a little bit of room to work. He'll swing it for Alvarado. Alvarado, of course, that great speed of his. He's up along the far sideline now, works it back towards the middle. He'll get it to Bevavino. Bevavino sets, fires, sends it away over the head of Hughes, getting a foot on it, or getting over the head of Tynan, sorry. Getting a foot on it is DePaola. That ball somehow finds its way all the way back to Bevavino. Knocking it down is Welsh. Welsh thinks about it. He'll swing it now for Gutierrez. Gutierrez gets a foot on it. Getting a foot on it now is Dudas. Here's LaRosa. LaRosa works it inside. LaRosa tried to leave it for Catone. Perhaps some miscommunication there from Brooklyn. Horn will wrap that one up. Horn, nice fake, got Catone to bite. Now throws it for real. He'll leave it for Wallace. Wallace now for Mark. Mark leaves it for Gutierrez. Gutierrez gets it now to Tynan. Tynan thought about it. He'll swing it now for Keyser. Keyser, good job staying onside. He has already scored today. Could he be the third night with a brace here tonight? Keyser will leave it for Gutierrez. Gutierrez now works with the ball in the area. Garcia, but not quite face guarding the Knights senior. Mark tried to work it inside. Takes a hard fall. No whistle yet. No whistle at all. Sacramento guarded tightly by Mark. A bit of an error. Mark takes advantage and they score. One of the more unusual goals you will ever see. Sacramento tried to clear it. Goes right off the back of his teammate, Francesco DePaola. And TJ Mark picks up his third goal of the contest.
Wow. Well, 2 field goals makes it 6-0. The Jets have taken the advantage.
So what a way to pick up a hat trick for the freshman. 3 goals. So Mark, immediately after scoring his third of the contest, will come off. Hoffman, Burgos, and Alex Napoli enter the game for Mount St. Mary.
Oh, no.
And a huge collision in the Maritime Farmingdale game between the goalkeeper and a Maritime attacker.
The attacker was clean through. He had nothing but net to look at, and he got hung up on the ball. Oh, my God. You can't make this up.
So 15:46 to play in the Farmingdale Maritime game. The clock, as of right now, is stopped.
Just a wee injury, so we hope for good health there in Long Island.
For the game here in Newburgh, 18:55 now and counting down. The Knights lead at 6-0. That one will end up out of play. And the line judge rules that ball was over the sideline. Throwing it in now for Brooklyn is Veton Dudas. Dudas now tried to get it to Gutierrez, couldn't. Here's now Burgos with room. Burgos trying to get around Franco, couldn't. That ball continuing to bounce around. Tried to get it now for Garcia. Garcia works it along the far near sideline. He's guarded tightly by Alex Napoli, fresh into the game. Napoli forces the pass. The Bears working it around the horn. Franco will leave it for Sacramento. Sacramento will leave it now for DePaola. DePaola now gets it to Lucano. Lucano guarded by both Gutierrez and Hoffman. He's able to get that pass off. Rodriguez guarded by Mazzarelli. Rodriguez wastes no time. He swings it back deep for DePaola. DePaola gets it to Lucano. Mazzarelli gets a foot in there, and the Knights force the turnover. There's Mazzarelli with speed. He's looking for his hat trick. He'll pull it from way outside. Sacramento knocks it down. It's still loose in front. Napoli had second chance points there. Couldn't quite hammer it home. That ball ends up just to the left of the net, out of play. But in a game, the Knights lead by 6. The offense doing everything they can.
Got to make it as decisive as possible. Mazzarelli with a thunderbolt there from way downtown. Almost found the back of the net.
Maritime with a throw in deep in the Farmingdale end. Nothing comes of it. Back in here in Newburgh. Knocking it down is Hoffman. It will be a throw in the way of the Mount. Tried to get it to Burgos. Did. Burgos knocks it down. Burgos up along the end line. He falls.
Takes the tumble.
It will be out of play.
A little bit of simulation. He's not going to get the call on that. Have we ever discussed that before? You know it's a cardable offense to dive too much?
Like flopping?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. That would make sense. I mean, they cracked down on it recently in basketball because the flopping epidemic was a big thing in the NBA. I know it was a big thing in soccer for a little bit too. You don't see too much of it here at this level.
No, not a ton. Not a ton, because you're not always getting those calls.
Now Maritime on a fast break gets a shot off, hits the post.
Oh, my God.
And so the Privateers, in a game where the Knights need them to tie, the equalizing shot hammers off the post, and it stays 1-0 Rams.
This is stressing me out.
So with 16:23 left here in the second half in Newburgh, the Knights lead 6-0. It is safe to assume that this one is all but locked up.
Let's go, ball.
Sending it in deep are the Bears. Right there is Horn. Wearing that one off the head is Catone. A solid opportunity there for Brooklyn. They pick up their second shot on goal. Working it upfield is Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli now stops, thought about it, will work it back, gets it now for Tynan. Or that ball right in front of Tynan, sent upfield. Burgos is there. The Knights going with a full line change now. Crowd of people at the bench. It's Mar, Huang, Belinsky, and Richard Ostendorp, all waiting to come into the contest.
Some new faces. A lot of frequent flyers there. Good to see all the fellas.
So Coach Longacre rolling out some familiar faces. Knocking it down there is Ryder Esposito up near the the scorer's table. Tynan now right around the midfield circle. Thought about it. The Knights' game plan certainly has mellowed out a little bit. Perhaps I spoke too soon. Now here's Napoli with a chance. The Knights are offside.
Yeah, I didn't even see the far side Esposito's in. Love to see him getting some action. And an entire lineup of first years better check in here as well.
So the Knights going full line change. Again, 15 minutes and counting down here in Newburgh. Your score still 6-0. So barring anything terribly unforeseen, the Knights have done their job here tonight. The Privateers continuing to knock on the door of the Rams. A lot of opportunities in the Rams' own end. Nothing to show for it yet. As the line change comes in now for the Mount. Alvarado, Mazzarelli, Gutierrez, and Bevavino will come off. To a deserved round of applause from the fans.
So Franco right in front of the booth, screamed some obscenities. Got a little bit of a talking to from the referee.
Alvarado will now swing it for Belinsky. Belinsky fresh into the contest, leaves it now back for Alvarado. Alvarado, nice move. Stops on a dime, will now work it back. He'll leave it for Dale Allison. Allison will leave it for Richard Ostendorp. Ostendorp fresh into the game. He's guarded by Catone. Esposito now knocks it down. Esposito swings it back towards the middle. It's Mar. Mar stops on a dime. He has that ball taken away. Good defense there from Brooklyn. Here's Christopher Rodriguez. Rodriguez will swing it for DePaula. DePaula will get back towards the middle. It's Garcia. Garcia guarded by Huang. He's forced to pass. Sending that one in deep. Here come the Bears. That deflects in front. Mejia gets a foot on it. He'll flick it down towards the far side of the box. Now giving chase is Jody Loro for the Bears. Loro loses the ball. Poke check there. Nicely done from Mount St. Mary. Here's Hoffman. Hoffman towing the far sideline, able to keep that one in play. Hoffman sending it upfield, giving chase or multiple parties. Burgos in the area. Sacramento leaves the net. He'll rifle that one upfield.
Oh my God, I'm going to have a heart attack, Lucas. Maritime had a clear-cut chance on the doorstep. Tucked it wide. Oh my God, that's as clear as they get.
And so the Maritime Privateers, if you're just now joining us, they are currently playing the Farmingdale State Rams. And for the Knights to keep their playoff hopes alive, they need to win this game. They're currently winning 6-0, 12:51 left to play. The Privateers are currently losing 1-0. Good chance up ahead now for the Privateers. Crossfield pass, almost an own goal. Nice save there from the Rams goalkeeper.
Privateers certainly threatening.
So there's 9 minutes, 47 seconds left to play on Long Island. There are 12 minutes and 30 seconds left to play here.
Have a word with them, ref.
There's a whistle and a foul.
Ostendorp just got cut in half on that header attempt. An egregious act here late in the half.
So Ostendorp takes a hard fall. Thankfully, he's okay. He appears all right. Arms are raised. Ostendorp prepared to send it in deep. The Knights perhaps looking for even more insurance. Tried to get it in deep to Huang. That hit a bear. Now it was Mar. Mar towing that border of the attacking third. Will now leave it for Alvarado. Alvarado fires it, getting a head on it as Burgos. The shot was on target, just not a whole lot of power behind it. It'll be an easy save off of a short hop for Sacramento. Sacramento now drops it. He'll send it in deep. Leaping effort from Allison and Catone both. That ball continuing to bounce around. It's it's Mejia. Mejia getting a foot on it. Now here's Loro. Loro guarded tightly by Belinsky. Loro throws an elbow. Belinsky stays on his feet, able to take that one away. An opportunity unfolding here for the Privateers. Good interior defense there from the Rams. 8:50 and counting down in the Farmingdale game. As that ball continuing to bounce around, it'll be out of play. The referees will say it will go the way of the Knights. That ball falsely thrown in by Dudas. The line judge had signaled that it would be Knights ball. Perhaps that call on the field has been overturned. It'll be a throw-in instead for Brooklyn. Now is Mejia towing the midfield line. He'll swing it up, getting a foot on it. Lucano tried to get it back to Mejia. Good defense there from Huang. Huang forces the turnover, gets it back to Belinsky. Belinsky now works it upfield, stops on a dime, loses it again. Leaves it for Lucano, now gets it back to Huang. Huang will leave it for Allison. Allison thought about it. He'll instead leave it for Ostendorp. Ostendorp now looks to cut it upfield. A throw-in in the Maritime game, ball loose in front. The Privateers have had a lot of chances in this one. Is that ball still loose in front? What a save by the Farmingdale goalkeeper.
Can't make this up.
And so Farmingdale's goalkeeper has put together an incredible second half. The Privateers have had countless chances. Now back in Newburgh, here's La Rosa. La Rosa guarded by Alvarado. Alvarado, that ball tied up in between his feet, but good defense there. Ryan Alvarado turns Lorenzo La Rosa aside. We have dipped under the 10-minute mark here in Newburgh, as there is an injury in the Farmingdale Maritime game, so the clock is stopped on Long Island. Now here's Hoffman is offside. Now here comes Brooklyn. Here's Dudas. Dudas thought about it. Tried to get it back to Franco. Does get it back to Franco. Franco quickly picked up by Burgos. Franco works his way around the leaping Burgos. Now works it all the way back. He'll leave it for his goalkeeper, Sacramento.
Such a good name.
That's awesome.
That's brilliant. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. That might be name of the year, barring crazy pronunciations.
Well, I mean, that's because I've never seen it as a name.
That is really interesting.
Rodriguez leaves it for Sacramento. Sacramento will now swing it up ahead for La Rosa. Having that as a last name is fun, as that one shakes up La Rosa perhaps a little bit. Here come the Bears now. 8:44 left to play in this second half here in Newburgh. The Knights lead at 6-0. Here's La Rosa. La Rosa guarded tightly by Alvarado. La Rosa will swing it back for Mejia. Mejia will leave it now for Lucano. Lucano leaves it for Garcia. Garcia works it up ahead for Mejia. Mejia from Lucano gets it back to Mejia. So some nifty passing from the Bears, but the Knights able to throw a wrench in the Brooklyn plans, able to force a turnover as Mejia leaves it for Garcia. Now it's left for Dudas. Dudas gets it back to Garcia. Garcia is guarded by Napoli. Mejia, that ball goes off his feet. Alvarado able to wrap it up for the Mount. Alvarado now towing the near sideline. He'll swing it up ahead for Burgos, and the Knights are offside again. So we are under the 8-minute mark here in Newburgh. The clock just started running again in the Farmingdale State game. There's about 8.5 minutes left to play there.
So now the Knights have gotten ahead of Farmingdale.
So yeah, as of right now, barring any more stoppages from either game, the game here in Newburgh is now set to finish first. As Napoli thought about it, he and Mejia are tied up. Lots of jersey grabbing, surprisingly no whistle. As Alvarado tried to work his way inside, Alvarado takes a hard fall. He's shaken up here on the sideline. The Knights want a stoppage of the clock. So far, the referees haven't yet given it to him. Alvarado did go out off the field, so perhaps the referees just haven't noticed, as that one ends up out of play behind the end line.
A very disgruntled noise from Alvarado right here on the touchline.
Luca
That did not sound comfortable.
Luca Gristini checking into the contest for the Mount. So the Knights are able to get a substitution. 7.5 minutes to play on Long Island. It goes out of play behind the end line in favor of the Rams. So a goal kick coming for Farmingdale. Additionally, a goal kick coming here for Brooklyn. As that ball is loose in front. Now swings it for Dudas. Dudas guarded tightly by Napoli. Dudas forced to get rid of it. He'll leave it back deep for Franco. Franco now turns it upfield, towing the near sideline. Tried to get it upfield. Good defense there from Sebastian Belinsky. Crossfield pass harnessed by Jack Hoffman. Hoffman leaves it for Marr. Marr now working it all the way inside. Marr will flick it up ahead for Hoffman. Hoffman now has a chance. That ball bouncing around in front. Can Hoffman beat Sacramento? Yes, he can. Touchdown, Mount St. Mary. Jack Hoffman picks up the extra point for the Knights. 7-0.
Man, you love to see it. Muscles his way through the back line and toe taps it home. The Knights up 7-0. It's brilliant, Lucas. It's brilliant.
7-0 here in Newburgh. So far, it is a job well done for the Mount. The Privateers still looking to pull even with the Rams. A throw in there. Multiple parties get heads on it. So the Privateers have had a lot of time in the attacking third through the second half, Bob, it feels like. We've gotten the pleasure of watching both of these games. But so far, it is still 1-0 Rams.
Oof. Cutthroat game coming down to the wire in Long Island.
DePaula will now leave it for Franco. And if you're just now joining us, or if you're just unfamiliar of what's at stake, the Knights clinch a playoff spot with a win and a Maritime tie. They currently lead 7-0. Mount St. Mary currently leads 7-0. Maritime currently trails 1-0. So the Knights do need some help, as here's LaRosa with a step. In on defense is Ostendorf. LaRosa gets a shot off. That one's blocked in front. Good defense there from Grestini. So Grestini blocks the shot. The Knights looking to turn some defense into even more offense. Beautiful pass up ahead, intended for Huang. Just nice defense there from DePaula. About 10 seconds separate the games in Newburgh and Long Island. As LaRosa toes the sideline for St. Joseph's Brooklyn, leaves it now up ahead for Mejia. Defense there from Ostendorp. That ball bouncing around in front. Ostendorp gets a foot on it. He'll swing it for Dudas. Dudas now. Garcia gets a shot off. Almost took out the ref. That ball was rifled, but it goes just up and over the net out of play. A corner kick coming for the Privateers. 5 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in that game. Here in Newburgh, 4:50 and counting down. Belinsky now stops on a dime, gets past Licano. He'll leave it for Burgos. Burgos inside the midfield circle. He'll swing it for Marr. Marr will just leave it all the way back deep for Horn. Horn thought about it. He'll swing it now for Grestini. Grestini will leave it for Marr. The ball bouncing around. The Privateers, a golden opportunity for Maritime. They cannot cash in the equalizer.
Oh, my God.
They have had countless opportunities as Aiden Uritz will swing it downfield for Richard Ostendorp. Ostendorp will now leave it for Noah Horn. And so the Privateers, Bob, we've watched this entire second half just because both of these games have playoff implications. The Privateers have had so many chances.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, more than
1-0 Farmingdale still.
Yeah.
So, of course, parents here on the Knights sideline following this game just as closely as we are. 4.5 minutes to play. Farmingdale is up 1.
I mean, bunchfuls of chances for Maritime. They just have not been able to cash in. They've gotten a really large amount of phenomenal chances.
Uritz, that throw in left in. Sacramento will send it back deep for Brooklyn. Leaping effort, getting ahead on it is Grestini. He'll send it way downfield. Getting ahead on it for Brooklyn is Garcia. That ball continuing to bounce around. Lucano will leave it now for LaRosa. LaRosa guarded by Ostendorp. Good pass up ahead. Now here's Mejia with a step guarded by Marr. Sliding defense there. It will be a whistle and a foul. But a nice sliding defensive effort there from Luca Grestini. It'll be, I believe, another corner kick in the Maritime Farmingdale game.
Maritime currently loading up a corner.
So here's Marr. Marr will swing it up ahead. In the game now for the Mount is Sean Watson. Watson will leave it for Napoli. Napoli, can he stay on side? Yes, he can. Good defense there from Dudas for Brooklyn. Napoli now tied up. That ball still loose in front. Napoli, what an effort to come away with it. That shot hammered just to the left of the net. Almost an impressive goal for Napoli as that ball loose in front in the Maritime game. And nothing comes of the corner kick for the Privateers.
So potential handball getting shoot aside.
Now here's Farmingdale with numbers the other direction. They have the keeper well out of the net. Moving in for Farmingdale. Good defense there from the Privateers. Farmingdale very easily could have taken the lead.
Goalkeeper was 100 feet out of his net. Farmingdale got a jailbreak going the other way. Could not quite find the ball up over the top to find themselves the ice.
An interesting decision from Farmingdale to not get that shot off. It looked like they had plenty of time to. As we reach the 2-minute warning here in Newburgh, that ball sent away from Franco. 3 minutes, 16 seconds left to play on Long Island. Working it in is Mejia. Mejia has Gristini right in front. Urance giving chase. Horn will just send it out of play up along the near sideline. The Rams and the Privateers currently battling for it at around midfield. So the referees here in Kaplan Field will put the ball in the appropriate spot. 90 seconds and counting down here in Newburgh. La Rosa cuts inside, tries to get it past. Marr couldn't. Here now is Mejia. Mejia now up ahead. He'll swing it for Lucano.
Oh my God. They scored. Maritime
and
scored.
The Privateers have scored.
Maritime scored.
And it's 1-1.
The Mount bench just saw it. The Mount bench just saw it. And the Maritime scored. It's on sides. They scored.
The Mount St. Mary bench has received
word
that the Privateers have scored. The call on the field stands. It is 1-1 on Long Island.
The bench explodes.
We're under the 1 minute mark. That ball still bouncing around in front. Marr and Horn knock it down.
You can't make
Marr
this up.
Sends that one out of play. So there's 40 seconds left to play here in Newburgh. The Knights have locked this one up. Wow. There's 2 minutes and 24 seconds left to play between Maritime and Farmingdale.
Doesn't get any more storybook than this, folks. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Lucano tried to get it inside. Will now leave it for Mejia. Mejia's pass taken away by Esposito. The ball continuing to bounce in front. Dudas knocks it down. He fires just wide. So 15 seconds and counting down. Horn, no rush to get to that ball. That ends up out of play behind the end line. 10 seconds and counting down. So the Mount St. Mary Knights have done their job here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, the Mount St. Mary Knights winners here tonight, 7-0. Seven goals on 19 shots. And ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere just yet. 2 minutes and 10 seconds counting down in the Farmingdale State Maritime game. As I'm sure you all know by this point, just in case you're just now joining us, if this game ends in a tie, the Knights clinch a playoff spot on the final day of the season.
Man, doesn't get any later, doesn't get any crazier.
So a minute 55, Farmingdale has the ball deep at the Privateers' own end. The Rams working inside, gets a shot off. That ends up just to the left of the net. It will be out of play. It will be a goal kick.
It's going to be a corner kick for Farmingdale.
It'll be a corner kick for Farmingdale.
So a threatening opportunity as Maritime is dominated as half. Farmingdale is trying to dig themselves out of a grave.
So 90 seconds left to play. We're still on the air as Farmingdale tries to get that one in deep. They can't. Second chance. That one goes high and wide.
Howitzer up and out, and every ball that goes over that touchline is going to be even more seconds bled off the clock.
A minute 15 left to play.
So Maritime, I don't believe have a playoff spot, though. Right now they're knocking Farmingdale out of the playoffs. So
the Privateers looking to play spoiler. The Rams looking to go back in front. A minute and counting down on Long Island. Of course,
the whole Mount bench huddling together to watch the end of this game.
Here's Farmingdale now with numbers. Can the Rams take the lead in the last minute? Crossfield pass, header, still loose in front, and the Rams score. No. Unreal. And so Farmingdale State has taken the lead with 45 seconds left to play. Yeah, I didn't. Heartbreak for now on the Knights sideline.
Oh, that hurts.
So, of course, the players following the broadcast on the field, Bob and I will try and leg out the last 45 seconds of this Farmingdale Maritime game. So now the Privateers need to grab the equalizer in 45 seconds.
It's going to be all out attack from the Privateers.
So stranger things have happened in the soccer world. The Knights need a Privateer goal in these last 45 seconds. So that ball's kicked away, and the Privateers have 45 seconds to make some magic happen.
Get everybody upfield if possible.
The keeper sends it downfield. The Privateers looking to work the ball in deep. A header from Farmingdale. That one will go out of play behind the end line, so the Privateers will get a corner kick.
They'll have to resume as quickly as humanly possible.
Under the 30-minute mark on Long Island. So regardless of the outcome of the game on Long Island, the Knights are leaving the field to a well-deserved round of applause. 14 seconds and counting down. Another corner kick, I believe. Privateers try to get it in deep. That one quickly sent out of play by the Rams. And that will do it for the Farmingdale State Maritime game. Your final score, the Rams 2, the Privateers 1. And with that loss, the Mount St. Mary Knights have been eliminated from playoff contention. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for the regular season. Bob, not quite the ending we wanted. Really a